Coming up on today's show, we'll tell you how you can see Poltergeist in 4DX.
And we'll take you through the week's big releases, including Moon Age Daydream.
Hello and welcome to What's On at Cineworld Cinemas. I am Luke Owen.
And I'm your ticket to paradise, Dan Layton.
Oh, that's delightful.
It's a very simple one this week.
Yeah.
It was right there for me and I had to take it and I did.
Did you think on the way here or just in that moment?
On the way here. And I was like, do you know what? I am.
We'll get on to Ticket to Paradise in just a little bit.
That we will.
First off, we talked about this on last week's show, filmed on location.
Oh yeah, we did do that. We had a day out, didn't we?
We did have a lovely day out at the O2.
Yeah.
Filmed a lot of stuff in 4DX and stuff.
Very
and we were
exciting.
talking about 4DX because we've got a special offer on at the moment. For the next couple of weeks, 4DX Movies and ScreenX Movies have no uplift on them, which means you don't have to pay any extra on top of your regular cinema ticket price.
Regular ticket, go and see a movie in a special format, and it feels extra special because you don't have to pay any extra.
And if you're an unlimited member,
Oh,
it's absolutely it's nothing at all.
Bang.
Nothing at all.
Little swipe.
Nothing at all.
There you go.
You just get to go and enjoy an excellent 4DX movie.
that you do.
And we talked about this last week because we've got some really cool 4DX movies being shown.
Yeah.
The original Fast and Furious and a Nolan series including Batman Begins, The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises.
Which was, that's a dream lineup, I would say.
do a trilogy.
Could it possibly get better?
And that's what I would do. I would spend my Saturday and I would just do all three back to back.
In a row?
Yeah.
The adrenaline.
Oh, but that's what you want, Dan.
I suppose, that's
Afterwards,
true.
and then go out, have a Nando's.
Lovely, lovely. Well, use your taste card.
Yeah, exactly. What a way to spend a day.
Dreamy.
But we've got a brand new movie added to this 4DX list, never before seen in 4DX. I was about to say Steven Spielberg's Poltergeist, but that's part of the joke. Toby Hooper's Poltergeist.
Tell me the joke.
So Toby Hooper described... so Steven Spielberg produced Poltergeist.
Right, okay.
Toby Hooper, the director of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, was the director of the movie. And he once said in an interview that, I now know what a producer does on set of a movie.
Oh.
He tells the actors what to do and then stands behind a camera and says action.
That's good comedy.
Because Steven Spielberg basically directed the movie and Toby Hooper did nothing on it.
He was just there for a good time.
And if you watch, you're like, yeah, this feels like Steven Spielberg directed this movie.
I've never seen it.
No?
No, but I'm also, obviously because it's kind of one of those things that seeps into the old zeitgeist, there are bits and bobs where I'm like, oh, I know what this looks like. And I'm then picturing moments in 4DX, like your flashing lights situation with the TV.
The tree falling through
all
the
of
window.
that, yeah. It's
Terrifying.
like horror movie
Clown.
in 4DX is a lot. I think that would be quite a fascinating little experience.
Do you know what? I hadn't thought about that, but you're right. Like, because I've seen action movies in 4DX, but I've never done a horror movie.
I've seen the children's classic intense thriller Peter Rabbit 2 in 4DX. So, I've got that kind of experience, but a full and out horror, I haven't done it yet. But I feel like it's one of those things where either it could make the experience just the most horrifying thing in the world, and we know that I get, a door closing too loudly is a bit much for me, or it's just the right amount of in the moment, kind of having the fun thing where I can actually go and experience a horror movie like a normal person and have a nice time. Do you know what I mean? So,
That's what I really like about this series we've got going on here, is because these are movies. It's a new way to experience movies.
It is.
Because we've all seen Batman Begins. We've all seen The Dark Knight. We've all seen Poltergeist, apart from you.
Sorry.
But this is a new way to experience it.
And then I actually went to the pictures last week to
Brag.
see, I know, can you believe that? I went to see How They Run, and indeed, there was running.
Did you see how they ran?
I saw how they run. I used these eyes, and I saw them running, and I was like, I suppose that's how they run. I didn't guess who done it. I tried, but I didn't. I know.
But Dan, you're such a good sleuther.
I like to think I am, but what I've realised is that I'm always so confident the whole way through, well, clearly it's this person. Clearly. And I was so sure who it was going to be.
Is this why you're so bad at Blood on the Clock Tower?
Yes, very that. I really do believe that I know what I'm doing, and then suddenly at the end I'm like, oh, I've misread this whole thing.
It was
and
Adam
then
all along.
There it is. And indeed, no spoilers for See How They Run, but it was Adam. So I went to see the movie, and then as I was leaving, another film was letting out, and it was The Fast and Furious in 4DX, and people were yammering away about how much of a good time they were having, and they were like really going hard on the whole. It was a packed screening, so people seem to be having a very good time.
That's awesome to hear. We're also showing Bullet Train and Top Gun Maverick. Will it ever
That's my review of Top Gun Maverick in ScreenX.
It goes all the way across. And there's even
Or
more.
can I do my review of Bullet Train in ScreenX?
Please do. You didn't think that through before.
No,
I mean, you
I
did.
started doing it, and then I realised I didn't know what train sounded like.
And we work next to a train station. We have to stop recording so many times because of a train
that's true.
going past.
I'll do that train sound.
All right, okay, take 2. Choo choo. Having been on a bullet train,
Have you been on one?
Yeah, I don't think it sounds like that.
Was Brad Pitt there?
Bradley was not on that
Did
one. Did
the film Bullet Train 2022 line up with your experience of having been on a bullet train?
My bullet train experience was a lot calmer than the Bradley Pitt's Bad Bunny bullet train.
Okay. Well, we can't have it all.
I would highly recommend it though.
Okay.
It's fat. It's
I'll have a go.
A great way to get from Tokyo to Kyoto.
And when I go on it, people have often said that I look a little bit like Brad Pitt. So.
We're also showing Jaws in Real D 3D, which you can see through this special offer for no extra cost.
That big shark coming out of the sea in 3D would be a lot.
It's throwing the chum in the water.
And then there's like, I don't like sharks, right? Mm-hmm. Jaws I can just about get through because obviously the whole point is they didn't really have the budget to show much of the shark, so I don't have to look at it that often. But when it comes out of that water, it's quite close. And the idea of it physically coming, no, I'm good.
However, our big releases this week are Ticket to Paradise and Moon Age Daydream in IMAX only. You saw Ticket to Paradise a couple of weeks ago, didn't you?
I did. I was very special, and I had a little chat with the star, Caitlin Dever, and the director, Ol Parker, and prior, I saw the movie. And you know me as a rom-com fan. And Julia Roberts and George Clooney. The way Ol Parker describes it is that this is the sequel to a movie that should have happened years ago. Because we never had that Julia Roberts, George Clooney rom-com, even though they were both kind of like peak of that genre back in the 90s. Mm-hmm. In fact, George Clooney never really did that kind of rom-coms. He did one or two like adjacent, but...
I don't know, Batman and Robin.
Well, a lot of nipples.
Exactly. And that for me is the sign of a
good
rom-com.
rom-com if there's nipples there. Yeah, it's like a sequel to a movie that never existed, and they did Oceans together, so they have worked together, they are good friends, their chemistry is unbelievable, and it has, at the end of it, a classic of film that doesn't really happen much anymore, the blooper reel over the credits.
No way!
There's a blooper reel over the credits.
Oh, and the Mark Kermode fave, which is
love
like,
them.
Everyone had a lovely time making this.
And that is literally what you get as a result of it. It's just... Everyone is on set having a very nice time together, and I do think that comes across, on screen as well. As Caitlin Dever and Billy Lord, who work together in Booksmart, are bringing that same kind of chemistry and energy. So there's just a lot of fun to be had. It's a colourful movie. It's a vibrant movie. It's just so nice to see Julia and George. It really is.
I am really, really excited about Moon Age Daydream.
Yes, you are. We watched the trailer just before we hit the big red button on the camera that says record.
I'm a big Bowie fan.
Yeah.
And I get to see him on a big screen.
Big screen, very big and colourful.
Oh.
All the colours in the world on IMAX.
Well, that's it, because like the way they were describing it, the way the trailer describes it as well, this isn't just a documentary, this is like a cinematic experience. Yeah. And like the opening kind of sections of the trailer are done to Space Oddity, and it really feels like it's, oh man, I must watch a movie version of Space Odyssey. However, it's David in the space of Major Tom, and I'm really, really captivated by this trailer. And David was just such a captivating man. He was a wonderful, wonderful on-screen presence, and I'm so super excited to see this brilliant documentary.
Because I didn't grow up as a Bowie fan, so I'm not as au fait with like his, well, as his genre, it was the wrong word to pick, but kind of not, because it's David Bowie.
Yeah, he is a genre unto himself.
That's the kind of thing. So there's almost something as well that's kind of like, as a non-fan, to really understand him, it looks to me like it's a real exploration of not just his experience and who he is. It's kind of like almost like an introductory Bowie 101 kind of, It's good. If you can do a documentary or a biopic or something like that and fully represent the artist, not just the life, I think that's kind of interesting, so I'm excited. And IMAX is... If we're talking about big movies and space and IMAX and all that stuff, yeah, Bowie lends himself.
The only thing I'm slightly concerned about going to see this movie, and I will be going to see it, so I'm not that concerned, is singing out loud. And just, I hope I'm in an audience that also wants to be singing along with these songs, because I am known that if I'm in the car no matter who I'm with or if I'm on my own, I will belt out a Bowie number.
You were singing along in the trailer. I don't know if you were aware.
And try and do my best Bowie impression that I possibly can do.
Well, the floor is yours. I've done a train and a plane on this show, so...
I mean, now's not the place or time.
Oh, you don't want to show me up?
Well, I mean, I can't...
You were so intimidated by my excellent impressions. You can't. No, I understand.
I can't follow your bullet train.
Nobody can.
Also out is See How They Run, Tad, The Lost Explorer, and The Curse of the Mummy, Bodies, Bodies, Bodies.
Bullet Train, Minions: The Rise of Gru, and, would you believe, Top Gun: Maverick.
You did say you saw See How They Run. What was your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I had a good time. I love a murder mystery, even if I get it wrong. I was a big fan of Knives Out. It's in the same vein. It doesn't take itself too seriously. It's very silly at the beginning. It's kind of Wes Anderson-y in terms of the very sort of symmetrical, the way the camera moves, the way everything is designed. Adrian Brody is a magnificent little opening monologue from him. Saoirse Ronan is delightful, doing her own accent the whole way through, which is quite rare for Saoirse. I had a great time. I thought it was really fun. If you're looking for a nice, fun escape, and I was on this particular day, I was having a bit of a day, and I was like, I'll just go to the movies, see how they run. Been wanting to see it for a while. Had a really nice time. It's one of those movies. It's a really nice time. Go home, and you can play along with the guessing who did it. You can get it right, or you can do what I did and completely get it wrong.
Is it your pick of the week?
I would say so. Is that or Ticket to Paradise? No, I'm gonna go with Ticket to Paradise, purely because See How They Run was my choice last week.
I'm going to be going with Moon Age Daydream.
Of course
because Bowie fan, and I'm really excited to see it. And actually, the fact that it's on IMAX is the thing that makes me even more excited.
Yeah.
On Thursday, September 20th, we have an unlimited screening of The Woman King at 7:30. Then 15 minutes later, there's an IMAX version of it. On September 26th, an unlimited screening of Smile, which I'm very, very excited about.
I can't. I'm going to have to try, aren't I?
I'm going to just keep smiling at you.
No, that's not because I like it when you smile, but I don't want to be scared of it.
And then on September 27th, we have an unlimited screening of The Lost King,
which has a fabulous tagline.
Oh, yeah?
Her story will make history. Do you see?
But that's all we've got time for on this edition of What's On at Cineworld Cinemas. If you want to check out any of the movies we've discussed, there are links in the video description down below. And if you enjoyed these two idiots going back and forth, there's more podcast waffle in the podcast realm and on all good, bad, and mediocre podcast platforms. Until then, I have been Luke Owen.
And I've been Brad Pitt.
And that was What's On. It's a lie, by the way. Unless it isn't.
Well, could you believe?